Hey everybody, welcome back. We're diving into some really fascinating ideas today, all about personal growth and authenticity. We're going to be exploring excerpts from The Colors of Your Soul, it's a piece by Coach Zibu.
Oh, cool.
And the big idea here is that we're all born with these like vibrant, unique colors,
Mm.
representing our true essence.
Hmm.
But over time, they get kind of like muted by the world around us. It's like we start wearing colors that aren't really ours,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and what I find really interesting is that Coach Zibu uses color as like this powerful metaphor for potential.
Yeah.
It's like we arrive in this world with this pure, unblemished energy, unique to every one of us. It's like our soul colors.
I love that. And you know what I thought of? When I saw that word unblemished in the source, it said unblemished babies. It made me think about how kids just express themselves so freely
Right.
before they start absorbing all those societal pressures. Like when you think about finger painting as a kid,
Yeah.
you're just going for it.
Yeah.
No holding back.
They just instinctively know their colors and they radiate them. It's fascinating. Makes you wonder when we start filtering those expressions
Yeah.
and how much of that filtering is really serving us.
That's such a good point. It makes you think about those things you were just naturally drawn to as a kid.
Yeah.
Those passions that would just like light you up before any self-consciousness would creep in.
Right.
I don't know, maybe it was building elaborate Lego creations or getting lost in a world of books
Yeah.
or dancing like nobody's watching.
Yeah, those early inclinations, those things that brought you genuine joy without needing any external validation. Those are like clues to those inherent soul colors that Coach Zibu is talking about. But as we grow older, it's easy to lose sight of them.
It's so true. And the source talks about how life experiences, especially the expectations and influences of others,
Yeah.
it starts to add their own layers
Mm.
of color
Oh, yeah.
right on top of ours. So it's like family, society, even culture, they all leave their mark.
Yeah.
How does Coach Zibu describe this process?
Well, it's interesting. The source uses this phrase, protective armor, to describe how we sometimes adopt these external colors. It's like we start wearing these colors not because they're really ours, but as a shield to protect ourselves
Yeah,
from judgment or rejection. It's a natural human response,
totally.
wanting to fit in and belong.
Yeah, it's like we trade a little bit of our authenticity for acceptance.
Right.
But then, like Coach Zibu points out, we start to feel this like subtle emptiness.
Yes.
It's that yearning for something more, that feeling of being disconnected from our true selves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us have experienced that at some point, that sense of not quite feeling fulfilled, even when on the surface everything seems fine.
Absolutely. And it's that disconnect, that subtle emptiness that often prompts us to start questioning, who we are and what we really want out of life. We start to sense there's more to us than the colors we've been wearing, and that's where the art of purity comes in.
The art of purity. It sounds kind of mystical. What does Coach Zibu even mean by that?
Well, it doesn't mean becoming like a hermit or renouncing the world or anything.
Yeah.
It's more about like consciously choosing the colors we want to wear, the ones that really reflect us, peeling back those layers we've picked up over time, the ones that don't serve us anymore.
So it's not about like rejecting our past experiences, but more about understanding which parts of ourselves are actually authentic and which ones maybe we've adopted out of necessity or fear even.
Exactly. Coach Zibu uses this is great, it's a painter's palette analogy. Imagine you've been working on a painting for years, adding layer upon layer of color. Over time, that original image gets totally obscured, right? The art of purity. It's like taking a step back and carefully removing the layers that don't belong, and you rediscover the original masterpiece underneath.
I love that imagery. Makes me think about how those original colors, the ones we're born with, they might actually be even more vibrant now
Yeah,
because they're infused with all of our life experiences.
that's a beautiful way to put it. It's like saying our true selves aren't static. They're constantly evolving and deepening as we grow. The art of purity, it's not about trying to recapture some lost innocence. It's about embracing the fullness of who we are right now with all the wisdom and resilience we've gained.
That's so empowering.
Yeah.
So how do we actually start to peel back those layers and rediscover those authentic colors? What's that look like?
Well, Coach Zibu talks about purifying the heart. That's a crucial first step.
Yeah.
And it starts with becoming aware of like the negative emotions
Mm-hmm.
and those limiting beliefs that we all have that might be holding us back. Recognizing those voices inside that tell us we're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy.
It's funny because those internal blocks, those limitations we put on ourselves, they can be just as strong as any outside pressure. It's like we build our own cages sometimes.
Absolutely. Purifying the heart is about dismantling those cages. It's about self-compassion,
Mm.
acceptance, learning to forgive ourselves for past mistakes, letting go of that need to be perfect.
So it's almost like we're clearing out the clutter, both internally and externally. So our true colors have the space to shine through.
Exactly. And it's not a one-time thing, it's a journey. It's self-discovery and refinement, becoming more tuned into our inner compass, that quiet voice that guides us toward what really resonates with our soul.
Now, how does this art of purity connect to achieving greatness, which Coach Zibu mentions in the source? Because for some people, that word might feel a little intimidating.
Yeah, I think what Coach Zibu is getting at is that when we align ourselves with our authentic colors, our true purpose, we naturally tap into this energy and inspiration. We start to express our unique gifts and talents in a way that feels effortless and fulfilling. And that alignment, that flow state, that's where greatness lies. It's not necessarily about getting recognition or rewards, but living a life that feels meaningful, aligned with our values.
So it's about discovering and expressing our own unique definition of greatness, one that might look totally different from someone else's.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we all have something unique to offer the world, something that only we can bring. When we embrace our authentic selves, we give ourselves permission to shine in a way that's true to who we are.
It's like we're all a piece of a giant mosaic, and our individual colors contribute to the beauty and complexity of the whole thing. And when we're not afraid to express our true selves, we inspire others to do the same.
Absolutely. It's a ripple effect. One person's courage to be authentic, it can give other people the courage to step into their own truth. And that collective energy, that symphony of colors, that's what creates a more beautiful and compassionate world.
I love that. This whole concept of the art of purity
Yeah.
and rediscovering our soul colors, it's really inspiring, but it can also feel a little daunting. Where do we even begin? What's the first step someone could take?
Yeah, it feels like we've talked about peeling back the layers and all that, but how do we actually do it? What's like a tangible step? There's something in the source that might help. Coach Zibu talks about those passions you had early on. Before anyone told you what you should be interested in, that's a good place to start.
Oh, you mean like tapping into that inner child kind of thing?
Exactly. What were you just drawn to? What would you lose yourself in as a kid? Maybe it was building stuff or writing stories or just getting lost in music. Those early things are clues.
I like that. It's almost like giving ourselves permission to be curious again, explore things.
Ooh.
It reminds me, Coach Zibu also mentions embracing imperfection. I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves when we try to rediscover ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we have to be perfect right away.
Yeah, that's not what this is about at all. The art of purity, it's not about some impossible ideal. It's about realizing that those imperfections, the things we see as flaws, they're actually what make us unique.
Yeah.
Beautiful, even.
Yeah, our rough edges give us character, right?
Exactly. Think about a piece of pottery. It's the imperfections in it, the little differences in the texture and color that make it special, one of a kind. And it's like that with us. It's our experiences, our challenges, even our mistakes. They make us who we are.
So it's about embracing the whole journey, the ups and downs, the messy parts,
Yeah.
to become our true selves.
And remembering it's a process, not a finish line. There'll be times we feel lost, uncertain, maybe even scared. But that's okay. It's all part of it.
And Coach Zibu talks about connecting with people who are on a similar path. Like we don't have to do this alone.
That's so important. Finding your tribe. People who see you, who celebrate who you are, it makes all the difference. Surround yourself with people who want you to grow, who want you to shine bright.
It's like creating this amazing kaleidoscope of colors, each one reflecting the others, making them even more beautiful.
That's beautiful. When we embrace who we are and we have those people around us who support us, it doesn't just make our lives better. We inspire others to do the same. It's like this ripple effect of being real and encouraging each other.
So we've explored a lot today in the colors of your soul. But the one thing I really want you to take away is this. Coach Zibu's idea of shining. It's not just about being happy with yourself. It's about realizing that each of us has something unique to offer the world, something nobody else can.
Absolutely. And when we embrace those true colors, let our light shine, we make the world a brighter, more compassionate, more beautiful place for everyone.
Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. Remember, those colors, they're meant to be seen, celebrated, shared, so go out there and shine.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing.